class, this is going to be a refresher on what we discussed on Wednesday to get you ready for the final for the theory class. This part, and all I'm going to be asking for, is for you to know what is in the harmonic minor scale as far as the chords. And you already know that I'm going to use Roman numerals that will tell you if it's minor or major or augmented, diminished. That information is already going to be there, right? Lowercase is minor. Lowercase with a degree sign is diminished. Uppercase is major. And uppercase with a plus sign is augmented. So the chords go, chord number 1 in a harmonic minor progression is minor. Chord number 2, diminished. Chord number 3, augmented. Chord number 4, minor. Chord number 5, major. Chord number 6, major. Chord number 7, diminished. Now the thing is, you have to know what all those notes start on, and that has to do with the scale. So what I was going to mention is, you're going to have your guitars, and so for example, we know that the combination of first finger to fourth finger on our guitars always produces the relationship of relative major and minor. Now, initially we talked about a major scale, putting your fourth finger there, and then if you went 4 frets down, you would end up on the note that's going to be your relative minor. So here's fourth finger on A. I drop down to the 2nd fret, which is F sharp, not G flat. It's got to be F sharp. The reason for that is it's A. I come down the scale, and normally what we do is we go backwards. We go A, and then G sharp, F sharp, instead of G flat, because I don't want to use another letter G. It's got to be 3 letters backwards too. Now the same thing happens the other direction. If I said, here's your F sharp minor, starting on the minor, then you're going to use your first finger. You're going to go F sharp, and you're going to go, you can use those 4 fingers to go up, and you'll find the relative major, which is going to be A in this case. I like to think of it as an interval of whole step, which is going to be 1 to 3, and a half. That way you know the letters that you're going to use. F sharp, the next one's going to be some kind of G, and it happens to be G sharp. The next one has to be some kind of A. And there it is, it's just A natural. Now, the thing is, you're needing to know what the key signature is. So, you know that the key signature of A major, if you're trying to find A major, you do have to kind of recognize that it's a sharp key, and the last sharp in it will be the letter before. In fact, it's just a fret before it. In fact, here's a good way to do sharp keys. If I'm in F sharp minor and I go F sharp, G sharp to A, I'm already supplying you with the last sharp that's going to be in the key signature for A major and F sharp minor. And that's this. G sharp, F, G sharp goes right to A. So then you know with the key signatures, with sharps, I would say, and I've been using this sentence, fat, right? Cats, get. G is going to be my last sharp, because we mentioned that G sharp is just before A. So A major has 3 sharps, and so does F sharp minor. The other thing that you have to consider, though, is that F sharp harmonic minor not only has 3 sharps, F, C, and G, fat, cats, get, but it also has a raised 7th degree. And that 7th degree is, if I go F, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E. That E needs to be raised to E, E sharp. So then my harmonic minor, which you know how to play, that's E sharp to F sharp. That's the set of notes that you need to know. So what were the sharps? F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and the additional E sharp. So that means the chords in F sharp harmonic minor are, first chord's always minor, F sharp minor is chord number 1. The next note, G sharp, is chord number 2. G sharp diminished. Chord number 3 is going to be augmented. A augmented. Chord number 4, which is on a B, is going to be minor. B minor. Chord number 5 on C sharp is going to be C sharp major. Chord number 6 is going to be major. D major. Chord number 7 is E sharp diminished. And then back to F sharp minor. So that's a great way to kind of get to know, and using your guitar to figure out sharp keys. So how are you going to know if it's a sharp key or a flat key? Well, if I say F sharp, you're in a sharp key. And the sharp keys start on the G major. So G major, if I had a G major and I had to descend down, it would be E. So E minor and G major has 1 sharp. Then after that, the next key is going to be D major with 2 sharps, and its relative minor will be B. Then the next key is going to be A, which we did, 3 sharps. F sharp minor will be the chord that you're playing for the minor. And at this point, all the notes are going to be sharps after this. The next key after A is going to be E, 4 sharps. Your relative minor is C sharp. Next key is B major. Your relative minor is going to be G sharp minor. Next key after that is F sharp major. I'll go way up here. The relative minor of F sharp major is D sharp minor. And then finally we have C sharp major. And the relative minor is A sharp minor. Those are all the sharps. Now how are you going to deal with this if it's a flat key? I'm going to do 2 different flat keys just to kind of give you an idea. We'll start on G. G is going to be associated with a flat key because if I go from G, and remember what I said, is if I give you the minor key first, you have to go up to find the relative major note and key signature. So I used a baseball analogy in school. If you're in the minors and you need to find the majors, right, you get called up to the major, so you have to go up to find the major. If I'm telling you the major, then the only way to find out what the minor is to go down, backwards, to find it. That's my little baseball analogy. So anyway, I'm on G, and I'm saying G minor. So I'm in the minors. So I need to go up to find my major. So I'm going to go G, I'm going to use my 3rd finger, that's an A, and then my final note here is a B, but it's B flat and not A sharp. Why? Because I can't say another A because I've already used A. G, A, some kind of B is next, and there's your B flat. So the key is B flat. Now we already know that the second to last note in the sharps was actually in the key signature, so it was kind of there, that A going to a B flat. But flat key signatures, right, they work a little bit differently in terms of how many there are in them. So if you recall, if you're in a flat key, you have to name one more flat beyond the name of the flat key in order to know what's in the key itself. So B flat. If I put 1 flat in my key, at that point I know there's a B flat in it, but that's not B flat major because I've got to go 1 beyond it. So you've got to use the flat order. I said in my book, be ever alert during guitar class forever. I know that's kind of a lame sentence, but it works. So if I have to go one beyond B, it's going to be B ever. So that means the key of B flat major has 2 flats. Okay? That also means that G minor has 2 flats. Okay? And they will be B and E. Then you got to convert it to harmonic minor. So what is the 7th degree? Well, it's G, A, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5, E flat is 6, F is the 7th degree, and I'm raising it. It's F natural right now. It's going to be raised to F sharp. And so that I know that sounds interesting because it's a flat key with 2 flats, but the raised 7 is going to be F.